Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us today. We have Jimmy Higgins today, the CEO of a new online business university called Qopolis, with a new multi-million-dollar scholarship fund for families making less than $100,000 a year. Jimmy, I see you're wearing some shameless promotion today.
Right.
But before we get to the new scholarship program, tell us about the university. What is the focus?
Well, the focus is to get the very best business education out to everyone in a very convenient way. And of course, the very best education for business comes from Harvard Business School, but that's $250,000. So we wanted to make it a little more convenient and less expensive to get that education.
So your logo says Ivy League Online. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Well, Ivy League is a lot of very private universities that a lot of the universities hire the best professors, but most students don't ever get to see those best professors. So what we're doing is we're hiring those private Ivy League professors to come and develop our curriculum for our students.
So who at Harvard are you actually working with in this project?
Well, the person who's in charge of the main development is Professor Paul Gompers, and his focus is on funding startups with venture capital money. There's another professor who's working on the design of lecture, and the lectures at universities have been found to be very ineffective unless you use a new cognitive design lecture. And that seems to be 70% better for the students. So we're using that professor at Harvard to help design the way that lectures are presented to students.
By using all Ivy League professors to put this all together, then this will be more convenient, but still very expensive?
Well, there's a lot of expense, that's true, but we're not using just Ivy League professors. We're actually using millionaire businessmen and women who have made $1 million to also teach some of the classes. So it's not just theoretical professors, real life millionaires are going to teach this. The biggest problem with most universities is they started building themselves around a giant library when books were expensive, and now they have incredible expenses with stadiums, performing arts centers, parking lots. We've eliminated all of that so that $250,000 you normally have to pay for Harvard is now down to about $60,000. But even that can be more expensive, so we actually have a Pay It Forward scholarship program to even reduce that even further.
Could you explain that Pay It Forward scholarship idea?
Sure. There was a movie a while back called Pay It Forward, and it was about, instead of paying something back, you did favors for somebody else instead of the person who did it for you. And this Pay It Forward scholarship is put together by very wealthy business people who have been successful in business, and they want to pay it forward. They want to help other people become successful in business. So these scholarships designed to help families who have the desire, but maybe not the funds to get there. And as long as they make less than $100,000 a year, they're basically qualified to apply for the scholarship.
Who started this project?
Initially, there were three of us. Larry Zimmerman is the big investor, I guess you'd say. His family helped start Joann Fabrics with another family. And Joann stores now, according to the SEC, made about $2 billion last year. Wow. And he's one of the guys who are trying to pay it forward and give it back. Then there's Anthony Chung, who is the CTO. He graduated from Princeton. And he's probably in charge of every technology group that we have on the platform. And then there's, of course, myself. I actually worked at the NASDAQ stock market for 4 years, putting together their website and building their team for them.
And so what made you decide to create this university?
Well, I made a promise to somebody once, a little kid, and I'm going to keep that promise, not get into that, but I knew a lot of families, especially when the Occupy Wall Street came out on the TV, everybody was very frustrated, and student debt is going through the roof. So with this Pay It Forward scholarship, we know that anybody who applies and is accepted, all they have to pay is $2,970, and then the scholarship will take care of the other 4 years. And that includes books, but we don't actually have any books. And that was just sort of the impetus. But we also saw there were no jobs in our country, and that was a big problem even around the world. And the issue was there weren't enough small business owners creating jobs, because small business owners create about 70% of all jobs, but they're not getting the money from the government. The banks are, the big industries, but the small businesses also go out of business in the first 5 years because they don't have good business education. Yeah. So if we can get them a really good business education for less than $3,000, then that'll create more jobs and help the entire country.
Supporting the heartbeat of the economy. When will this launch be?
Well, we're already launching into Latin America. Actually, we're accepting 2,000 Latin American students into our scholarship program because one of our investors, he's put up a lot of money, and he would like to also see people from outside the United States also getting the best business education who probably couldn't afford to come in the United States or get a visa, but they definitely need business education. But inside the United States and Korea, we're going to launch in May, probably last part of April too, to let people know about it. But all the classes will begin this fall.
Well, thanks very much for joining us today. Very interesting project, and obviously something that's very close to your heart.
Right.
Well, thanks very much for joining Jimmy Higgins from Quopolis University, and we appreciate you on the show.
Thanks very much.